Hello guys, welcome back to the channel for my Premier League 2024-25 predictions. Let's get straight into it. 20th, Southampton, 26 points. Southampton don't have the squad for Premier League. No out-and-out striker to carry the team and put the ball back in the net. Alex McCarthy in goal is a bit of a weakness. Lallana is hardly going to be fit. Very weak defence. Weak. Bottom of from match day 10, and that's where they're staying. Back to the championships, go the Saints. 19th, Nottingham Forest, 31 points. Forest doesn't have enough quality in depth on the pitch and on the bench. 41 million euros on Elliot Anderson is just plain stupid. Milinkovic, I reckon, is a very good signing. Guess White and Singare will be class, but after that, there's not much going for them. Maybe Alanga. Wood is not going to get more than 5 goals, and they're going to struggle to get those goals. They will draw way too many games that they should win, and will be very, very poor away from home. I reckon only 4 wins away from home all season. Relegated and back to the championship. 18th, Ipswich, 32 points. I really want Ipswich to stay up, I really do, but there just isn't enough change from the team when they were playing League One just 2 seasons ago. Wolfenden and Greaves look like great centre-back options, and I think they'll be decently defensively sound. We won't lose too many games by 2 or more goals. 18th, relegated by just 2 points, just not enough for me. Sorry, Ipswich. 17th, Leicester, 34 points. Leicester surviving by the skin of their teeth. They will be given a massive points deduction halfway through the season, be on the verge of relegation before scraping a perfect 4-game win streak in May, with victories over Southampton, Forest, Ipswich, putting them within a point of Ipswich before an emphatic win on the final day over Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium, with Jamie Vardy scoring an emotional final nail in the coffin to win 4-2 in his final full-match match before retiring at the young age of 38. 16th, Brentford, 35 points. Another very poor season for Brentford. Will dip their toes in and out of relegation. Tony will be very poor and be a shadow of his former self. We'll lose to someone like West Ham or Fulham by 4 or more goals. But in the end, we'll do enough to beat the drop. Just boring football. 15th, Fulham, 38 points. Fulham will have a very poor season. They'll lose many key players to injuries at the end of the season. Muniz won't be consistent enough, only surviving thanks to an amazing run through January. Emil Smith-Rowe will be one of their best players by country mile, but poor from the standards they've set since being promoted a few years ago. 14th, Wolves, 41 points. Wolves will have an average season and will be fairly inconsistent, find it hard to score many goals, have lost captain Max Kilman and Portuguese roadrunner Neto. Jorgen Strand-Larsen looks like a great signing on loan for just 3 million, but nothing special. 13th, Bournemouth, 45 points. Bournemouth will definitely struggle with losing Solanke and look to replace him with Porto 24-year-old Evan Nelson. Iraola is a super genius coach, but can't put them high without Solanke. 12th, Brighton, 45 points. New Brighton manager Fabian Herzler is a massive risk for the girls, and one I don't think it's going to work. They'll have a below par season. Losing Pascal Gross to Dortmund will be a massive loss in this goal side. Matt Swifer and Minte will be a threat, but in the end, poor defence will struggle to keep clean sheets. 11th, Crystal Palace, 47 points. Average Palace season for the past 12 years now? Losing Elise and potentially Mark Wahey to Newcastle will be a massive problem for them. Chatty Riyad looks like a good defensive option. Having a points total in the 40s again. Not as high as everyone expects. Mateta will do alright, but losing Elise is just too big of a problem. 10th, Everton, 51 points. The Toffees will have an impressive season. Clean sheets will be a massive help thanks to Kevin Brandwaite. Eleman and Dye will be utter class for them, although losing Amadou Onana to Aston Villa will be massive. They'll get a string of really good performances and have big improvement from the last few seasons. 9th, Chelsea, 52 points. Very poor season for Chelsea, but what can you expect when the club is run by a bunch of clowns disguised as billionaires? Todd Boehly. Let's have a look at the signings for Chelsea. Pedro Neto for 60 mil. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall for 35 mil. Philip Jorgensen for 24 mil. Kellyman for 23 mil. Caleb Wiley and Argentina defender Anselino for a combined 27 million. Renato Vega is not going to play. And finally Mark Guyu for 6 mil. It looks like a good signing. That's 200 million euros and growing for very average young players. Cole Palmer has also signed a new deal for 2033, which is simply outrageous. A 9-year deal. Is that even allowed? 9th place if you're lucky. 8th, Aston Villa, 58 points. The Villains will end up struggling with playing Champions League football. Amadou Onana, Ross Barkley, and Ian Maatsen look like decent signings, but re-signing Archer and Philogene while buying Ealing Jr., Lewis Dobbin, Enzo Bernecchia just look like very average signings. They will draw far too many games. Watkins will have another 18-plus goal season. Konza at the back will have a monster season, but tired legs in December and January, and focusing on Champions League football will just be too much for an overachieving Aston Villa. 7th, West Ham United, 59 points. Well done, West Ham United. Amazing transfer business from the Hammers. Fulkrug will bang in the goals for him. Clean sheets will be kept with Julian Lopetegui, who loves a clean sheet. And by having a strong defense of Areola, Max McKillman, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Todibo, with Guido Rodriguez in defensive mid-role, I'm expecting just that to happen. Hammers captain Jared Bowen will be bagging goals and assists for fun. Banging season for the Hammers, making the London Stadium a fortress. 6th, Man United, 66 points. Massive improvement since last season. Ten Hag will be sacked by Christmas before hiring someone like Gareth Southgate or Michael Carrick. Man United have made some quality signings like Lenny Yoro, Matthias de Ligt, Mazraoui and Joshua Zirkzee so far in the transfer window, which will improve the first team a ton, but I just don't think they have enough quality to break into the Champions League positions quite yet. 5th, Spurs, 68 points. Spurs will narrowly miss out on the top 4, but will still end up in the Champions League thanks to the new UEFA coefficient. Brennan Johnson will have a pretty good season for the Spurs, getting 9 goals and over 10 assists from the wing. Solanke will also have a very influential role in the Spurs attack, but Son is aging and won't have the same output as he usually has in previous seasons. Defensive injuries is a problem for the Spurs, and I think it will affect them, but Ange Postecoglou's attacking philosophy will bag them a ton of goals, which will in the end help them reach Champions League qualification. 4th, Newcastle United, 72 points. Newcastle United push themselves back into the top 4. Newcastle will get Mark Grahey before the transfer deadline day. The Newcastle United defence will be absolutely world class. No European football for the Toon will be a massive help. Isak and Gordon will be world class up top for them. St James Park will be a fortress, not losing a single game at home. Bruno Guimaraes will be utter class. Now he's back from his 10-month ban, which will feel like a new signing. 4th place, 72 points. Well done, Newcastle. Champions League qualification. 3rd, Liverpool, 76 points. Liverpool will have a very good season under Slot. Despite not picking any signings yet and getting rejected by Martin Zubimendi and deciding not to sign another number 6, Elliott will have another breakout season under Slot. Salah will be rejuvenated this season. All the players look happy to be playing under the new manager. The youth will get a lot of game time, and they'll be in a title race up until mid-March until they lose steam due to a lack of depth by signing absolutely no one. Liverpool sign some players. 2nd, Manchester City, 87 points. Manchester City will finish 2nd. Finally surrendering after 4 years. They will still have a really good season, but will now start having a burnout from this season onwards. De Bruyne will be a shadow of his former self, Foden will be class, and Edison is expected to leave to Saudi. I think that they will just drop too many points, thus meaning first Arsenal, 91 points. The Gunners will win their first Premier League title in over 20 years after a stellar campaign. Saka will remain world class. Martinelli will have an uplift in form. Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, White, Calafiori are going to be eating clean sheets for breakfast. The midfield of Rice and Odegaard will be good. I think it's finally their year after chasing Man City for 2 years. There we have it, my Premier League predictions for the 24-25 season. Am I right, or have I gotten it completely wrong? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps out. 50,000 subs by the end of the year, and I'll do a face reveal. Peace out.